Recently, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control announced the sealing of more than 3,000 shops within the Idumota open drug market in Lagos just recently. This agency also shut down the Abbas Cemetery Market in Abia State, notorious for the sale of counterfeit wines and beverages. If you recall, last December also, the agency had seized counterfeit rice worth 5 billion naira in Nasarawa State. Between July 2024 and December 2024, NAFDAC had seized and destroyed products worth 120 billion naira nationwide. This morning, we'll be looking at the scourge holistically. What are your thoughts on this? Because many of us have somehow confronted counterfeit drugs, and we yes, we know the federal government is doing what they can do to tackle it, but what can we do as a people? My son was ill quite recently. He had drugs given to him by the hospital, and usually I handled the medical, but because we're on the island, I'm far away, my husband was handling all the medications from the hospital, taking to the hospital, taking the drugs. So it's what the doctor gave him that he was dispensing. And they one day too, the child, and I had to go back. What drugs are you giving? Yeah. I said, you know what? You have to go and buy the international versions of these drugs. You cannot buy these ones. There's a possibility it's not working. Right. Or is it so until we now bought the version, we now got the doctor to prescribe for us. We now went there to get it, and then we started seeing some results. Wow. So there's the possibility that the drugs that they gave me, and this was a children's hospital, it wasn't working. Even the basic paracetamol, to bring down fever wasn't coming down. I was constantly pouring water on this child, and this me that I know that I have access to, I can afford to buy the foreign one, and I know where to go. What of those who can't afford it or don't even know the option? They now have to work with continuously see how they can bring down the child's fever. So we see this happen all the time. What are your thoughts on this? What can we do as a people? Because government might make an effort, but as Nigerians, what are we doing? What should we do to identify these people and then take them to the government for prosecution?
So I will start by saying that this is a huge business for people involved in it. The fake drugs, they have invested millions and billions, and the only way you can scare them up, they are investing and they are making serious millions on the back of people's ill health. And the only way that you can scare them from continuing on this is the death penalty. Yes, that's the only way. If you go deep into the industry, leave the small boys that are the ones fronting and selling the drugs, and the barons of these drugs, they have money. The cartel is very, very strong. They will frustrate anything you want to do. You take their boys, they bribe, they bring out their boys tomorrow. You take another batch, they bribe, they bring out the boys tomorrow. Anyone that goes and they are not able to bring out, they replace them. They have the wherewithal, they have the means to do that. The only way we can stop this is the death penalty. If a drug baron is caught, and I'm not saying death penalty, we're looking for people on the streets that we use as scapegoats. I'm talking about getting the drug barons. If the drug barons are caught, the person is going. Other countries have been able to, weed off drugs, things as strong as drugs. In fact, there's a country I heard, I don't want to mention their name. If you carry as small as this, you are dead. That's the end. And they were able to clean out their system. All these kid gloves that we are doing, we have to go through the court, we have to go through people who are making money, who have instituted an institution around this, will not pay any mind to what we are doing. So we need to be serious if we want to fish these things out. Let me leave these other points for other people.
What bothers me is not even just drugs, but fake drugs.
It's the fake drugs we're talking about.
Food items, fake products, as in you, concocting what does not conform with the standard. And this I can only blame on the regulators. Because how did we get here? It started small, but it's now a major industry. Every day in the area market, they're opening shop. Somebody's mixing something. Somebody gives you a gift of a drink, you are careful what you're swallowing. Talk less of when your child is hot and you pick. What my parents used to pick Panadol, and they say for a child less than 10 is one tablet. With a double tablet to get efficacy of the locally produced ones here. Talk less of, buying fake. So my Yolu's grandchild had been stooling over time. Having this stool and vomiting. This girl was under a year. She's a toddler. And so she was stooling, and I'll come and we'll carry her. They say, he's teething, and all of that. And I said, teething with my both kids have shown me something that stop giving her the medication for teething, because it worsened my daughter's condition when she was teething, that, you know, we should stop the condition. And after 2 days, I was like, she's still doing this, then we are going to the primary healthcare center. She was like, no, don't worry. Then one day, suddenly I came from work, they had gone to the primary healthcare center and came back because she has stool in blood.
That's bad.
And so she ran in panic to the primary healthcare center, and the doctor said, all the babies presenting here, that's our job, primary healthcare, all the babies presented here in the past 3 months have been with the same symptom, and we found it to the baby food. And she had taken 2. They bought one and the taste was bad. They went to from another shop, bought another one, and the 2, because they had used it on the child, had caused this condition. And somebody sat in that trade fair market, distributed that product. It came from the trade fair market.
Yep.
Distributed that product, and the regulators are the ones who can enter. That's the problem. Test. They are the ones. You see, all of us that we are talking. Shebi me now, I've told them, don't give the baby food again. Let's be grinding millet and make pap for the girl. And that's what I can do. Let's grind the millet ourselves. My mother-in-law and my mom taught me. You dry your soya, dry small crayfish, dry bonga fish, all of that. Grind the millet, mix it so there will be protein there. Everything will be balanced diet. And they taught them back in the day. So they taught all of us. Yeah. And I used to make it for my son when I used to drop him after 6 months. So we can do that. Let's do that instead of this. So we are doing our millet by ourselves now, because you can't trust any branded food product for babies.
Jesus.
That's the point. So who else but, you know, the regulators that have the authorities to enter every market? And you see that I do not a market. All of, if we go there, those days we used to buy in bond. This blood tonic particularly, we used to buy in bundles because it's cheaper from that market. Imagine if you buy something from that market that you've never had to doubt. If you get to your house, do you have something to test to be sure you're taking the fake? It's until the consequence of it, the repercussion on your body starts to show. And that's too dangerous, you know, a time to wait.
Some may not show.
So the regulators cannot go there and monetize everything. There's supervisors and whatever officials that they send there cannot once you're doing this, you're sitting on blood money.
When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.